A wedding ring. No, not mine. My mother's. When my mother died, this ring was passed on to me. And I've been thinking a lot about it. It's a ring I would never want to take off. It's a remembrance of her. It's a symbol of her commitment, a symbol of her commitment to my father. And before my mother, my grandmother committed to her husband, and my great-grandmother, and my great-great-grandmother, and back through time. But what about that commitment? What about it? The ring is a symbol of a commitment to another person. But what about our commitment to ourselves? So many of us have been in toxic or unhealthy relationships. And while we may exit them and take the ring off or pass it along to a child, who would treasure it as part of their lineage, still we have that process by which we make a commitment to another person. And when we are in toxic relationships, that commitment can be the end of us. That commitment can be the way in which we lose ourselves. Now, mind you, I'm a fan of marriage. I love relationships. I don't have one currently, but I love that connection with another person. But I think in order for it to be healthy, we have to first have that commitment to ourselves. So what would that look like? If instead of committing to another person, whether it's a boss or a lover or a husband or wife or a significant other or even a family member, what if instead you focused on what it would mean to commit to yourself? Commit that fidelity to yourself first and foremost, so that those boundaries, that self-respect, that self-compassion, that self-esteem could guide you into the choice of a healthy relationship rather than bind you to an unhealthy one. So what do you want to choose? What's your commitment look like? What does it mean to you? And what would it take to commit to yourself first rather than to another person? This is Dr. Sage Breslin, and this is Wisdom Wednesdays.